Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. I am the occasional co-host, Brian the Babyface Mastroni, joined by the more frequent now co-host, Brett the Filthy Ginger, and our host always here, always present, always number one in your hearts, Lummy Lummox Garrison.
Thank you, Brian. Welcome back. You know what? It's welcome back, Brian. It's great to see you here. I think we're up to once a month now. Right now, we're talking about that over the break.
Yeah, it's been like every other week.
Golf weekends, doctor's appointments,
cruises. Time out. The cruise, but I was golfing, and I took Bubba's call on the golf course on Monday.
How was that? I like that golf course, by the way.
It's a great course. The greens were brutal. I mean, you look at the ball, and it was rolling 10 feet.
I played it one time.
I shot a 95.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased with myself. I've only played golf like 3 times in the last 6 months, so I was pretty damn pleased with my 95.
No, yeah, it's a really nice course. Did you, what's that hole? Is it hole 8?
The quarry holes are 13 through 17.
But there's that one that is a par 3 that leads off to it, where that drop is.
Yeah, that's hole 13.
13, okay. All right. I knew it was like toward the back end there of one or the start of it, but...
Yeah, my playing partner, almost one of the guys I was with, he almost made a hole in one. He was within 1 foot 6 inches right beneath the hole, but it was on one of those elevated ones, so the ball just stuck. There was no release.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He shot an 85.
Lummy, I gotta ask, was there an age where you just all of a sudden liked golf? Like, where you started to find yourself getting involved more and more? You were going out with the boys every other weekend?
Well, my height of golfing was like at 13 years old when I first got into the sport. Yeah, we had this shitty course called Sea Pines up in Newport Richey. It was right on the water, like Hudson, Newport Richey area.
Good old days.
And Gulf Harbors was the other one. And Gulf Harbors actually was the one.
They're still around, isn't it? I know the community.
The community's around. I think the course is gone. But Gulf Harbors, our parents would drop us off first thing in the morning, one of our parents, and it would be like 4 of us from the neighborhood, and we would pay $12 to walk and play all day. And we would play like 72 holes of golf in one afternoon. Oh, we'd have a couple bucks on us to stop in the clubhouse and get a soda and something to eat, and that was it.
We would go with my dad. I started when I was like 8. We had a couple nice courses down there. I think the one was like the Tides. It was right on the water. Obviously, it's no longer there. It was right on the Intercoastal. Beautiful course. Then you had like the par 3s, like East Bay and all those kind of courses. They had lights on them too. So it was actually pretty cool. I grew up on it. I mean, I would say my pinnacle of golf was like between the ages of like 18 and 25.
Yeah, I played a lot, especially, with my first marriage when I wasn't, when things, we had kind of grown tired of each other. Golf course was a great place to go for 6 hours of peace and quiet.
And that's when you were a little heavy too, weren't you?
No, I had lost weight by then.
Oh, okay. I wasn't insulting you.
No, I was at my heaviest, at the end of my first year of law school, I was up to 205, 209.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't trying to insult. I was just saying, like, maybe because...
And, like, right now I'm probably, like, 168.
Oh, nice.
169. Well, and I've maintained that for better part of 15 years now.
Congratulations on your success with the weight. But, I mean, golf for me personally, though, like, I don't know if it's just because I've never actually gone and played a game of golf or had an afternoon. But, like, I don't know. I can't get interested in it. I got buddies who try and... I have friends who are, like, into it now, and that shit came out of nowhere, so it doesn't feel very
they must be in bad relationships,
right?
Or no, that's not true, because I mean it is relaxing going out hanging out with the boys.
I'm 100% sure it can be, like, the atmosphere of being out there.
See, the thing though, for Lummy, for you and I, it was relaxing going out with the boys. Now they blaze up a joint and they sit around and they don't do shit.
That's true.
That's their way to relax. And for us, we didn't have that, so our joint was the golf course.
Yeah,
that was it. That was our weed.
But like when
that's not all that kids my age are doing.
That's mostly what they're doing.
Yeah, that's mostly.
I mean, mostly.
I'll give you credit there. Yeah.
Like when I go
there's a
on,
lot of shithead 20-somethings running around.
when I go on my golf weekend in Sebring, it's a lot of the older guys. I was actually one of the youngest guys there for like 5 years.
And that's why I asked, because I feel like more people my age are getting into golf, or at least pretending they like golf because, Barstool fucking does it. But like, I don't know. I just didn't know if there was a certain age that you found yourself getting into it, because even mini golf and like Top Golf, I never thought that shit was fun.
Pop-up golf. 813-90-BUBBA. 813-90-BUBBA. No, right. I was saying, like what you're saying, there's a lot of more younger guys now. I would say there was like 5 or 6 joined
it's
on.
Like it's cool to like golf. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think golf has always had that cool. I mean, no. I guess you could
factor,
say,
huh?
It's a hip sport.
All the kids are doing it
listen,
now.
what I mean is,
Crazy, cool kids.
what I mean is, maybe it was just me growing up.
Yep.
But because my grandpa, would watch the PGA, we'd watch it on TV. My dad would take us out, but it was always one of those. You go out and just relax with your, hang out with your guys, and 3-4 hours, even when 18, 19, kind of get it, have a couple good shots. I mean, and then all the baseball players are doing it in the 90s.
I'd love to actually go to a golf course and have a day of golf, because again, I don't want to write it off until I legitimately give it a chance. But like, I don't see it.
You need to go to a driving range and practice.
Yeah.
Do that first, because golf is not enjoyable when you're out there and you're
some guy that doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, no, not even. I wouldn't. It's not. They wouldn't bother me. It would bother you, because it's a very frustrating sport. Even if you're good at it, it's a frustrating sport.
Yeah.
So if you have no basis, no background, you have you've never played.
It'd be a miserable afternoon.
100%.
You got to get a feel for a swing. You've got to get a feel for making contact with the ball, getting the ball up in the air. Because if you're just topping it and grounding it the whole day, and it's taking you 8 strokes, 9 strokes to get up to the green, it's going to be miserable.
Put it this way, Red. If you came out, let's say Brian and let's say we played at the one you played at over the weekend.
Oh, Black Diamond?
Black Diamond. Well, let's just hypothetically.
He'd shoot a 200.
But hold on.
Come on now.
What I'm saying is we get the T1, right? Brian shoots, I would say, 200-yard, whatever, 250-yard drive.
250.
Yeah, so, right? And
Easy.
I get up, and, maybe I slice it a little bit, but it's still playable, and I go, 225, 230, and then you get up and you hit it 5 yards.
Yeah, no.
And then you walk up to it and you hit it again and it goes 20 yards. And then now Brian's like, okay, keep your head down, do this kind of swing. And then you're getting instructions on it. And then maybe you go 25 yards.
Then you start getting pissed off.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, fuck, it's just not working. And then you get impatient. Because,
you start pressing. Yeah, you start pressing because you're like holding up the group behind you.
Yep.
And and then you just pick it up. And so now you don't get to practice a chip around the green. I mean, that's the other thing. It's not just going to the driving range and getting a swing. The hardest part of the game is chipping and putting. And so getting that, that touch from 25, 30 yards in and knowing how to kind of get that little putting stroke on your chip to just pop it up and get it to land on the green and bounce and roll. That's the type of thing that if you do that, if you put in that time of, 20 hours of 15 hours of range and practice time, and then go do your first round, it'll be way more enjoyable.
Don't go to Top Golf for your first time.
Don't do that at all. Go to an actual driving
sucks.
facility, a range, a real facility. Go to TPC of Tampa. They've got the best facilities there. You can get buckets of balls. You can practice on their chipping and putting green. Those are good greens.
Yeah, because if you go to Top Golf, that will make you frustrating too, because you're trying to get your swing down. It's one set pretty much.
Yeah, there's fucking loud music blasting. Lights are coming on and
everything's
off.
hit from elevation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So even a top ball is still going to go a
20,
distance.
30 yards. So you really don't get a good idea of where you're at.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, so maybe you just go to what I wouldn't even say go to TPC. Maybe you just go to like there's a couple of courses that have a
But the problem is
don't go to like a crappy driving range.
The problem is
Cheaper.
the practice facilities are at the crappier courses are not up to snuff. So
I'm talking about just the driving range.
But he needs to practice chipping and putting.
Well, he first needs to know how to swing a club.
So I mean, when you're talking about swinging a club, this is fundamentals. This is 1, 2, 3. Like, I feel like it almost doesn't even matter.
Oh, it does.
What
the environment that I'm in.
No, I'm saying when you're
from
swinging.
from an
I'm talking
expensive
about
facility to a cheap facility.
No, but
like,
some facilities don't have a good chipping green for
Correct.
you to work
right?
with.
No, understood.
But
That's
in the
what I'm saying.
beginning, Brian, he probably just needs to go out to a
Where
cheaper
do you
driving
live,
range.
Rhett? Like what area?
Brandon Mall.
Okay.
Of course, right next to Top Golf.
Yeah, literally across the fucking street. That's perfect. Across the street from the Top Golf.
Don't go there though. You'll be frustrated.
Oh, I've been there before. It sucks.
Oh, so you've actually swung a club?
Yes.
Oh, how'd you do?
Not great.
Okay, yeah. See, don't go there. I think you'll just like you already done before. So yeah, there's a little course in what's it called? Not Brandon. It's the one a little south of it. Actually, his parents live there.
Apollo Beach.
Bradenton?
No. Like little south of
Riverview.
Lithia or something.
Lithia, Pinecrest, Valrico.
Yeah, Valrico. There's a little course there that has a decent low driving range.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
it's cheap.
actually, you know what? If it's in Valrico, it was probably the one that was off of Kings
Yeah,
in
Kings.
Lumsden.
Yeah,
I think
No, that's gone. That's apartments now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The driving ranges and courses are drying up. That's why I recommended going, there. But I think that would be good content. You and Lummy, with Lummy like being your swing coach.
Yeah, coaching me up.
That'd be a great little
Well,
segment.
we can go to Rocky Point then.
Yeah, Rocky Point. Yeah, but do they have a full length
Yes.
driving range still?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they do. It hasn't, even though it's probably one of the worst golf courses I've ever played on.
It's and the price is just not
Stupid.
commensurate with. It used to be
prices.
$20 to like $20 to play like 5 years ago, and now it's like $55 a round.
And it's the worst course ever. It's all open.
Yeah,
So you hit out. You could
the
hit.
fairways are like rocks.
Hit it into the fucking road.
Well, no, but if you don't hit it straight, you're on maybe hole 7 when you're on hole 2.
Where's Rocky Point?
Right down here,
Past
right
the expressway.
Yeah, right down
By the Causeway?
by the Skyway Park.
Yeah,
Skyway
Skyway
Park. That's
Park.
what I'm thinking. Not
It's right
Causeway Park.
behind there.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
By
I
the
used to
way, don't
deliver
play golf
Amazon.
there.
I used to deliver Amazon.
Yeah,
all the way over
don't
there.
play golf there. Just hit because it's cheap in the fairway, or not fairway, the driving range.
Yeah.
Their actual restaurant's called Fairway, or bar. But yeah, Red, just try it out. Yeah, we'll go down there. I'm not going to teach you anything. I'll just watch you. Because
you're not going to teach me shit. You're just going to go out there and laugh at me,
dude.
Yeah, I suck. We got to have a pro like Brian out there.
Oh please, I probably have the worst swing out of anybody.
No, I probably have it worse.
Hey, 250 easy though.
I've had it literally reconstructed every time I go golfing.
Oh, I can smash it because of the way I
Talking about your swing.
But
So when you say reconstructed, is that because of like you getting comfortable, or is that because of some old timer that's like, "Hey, pal,
every single person I golf with.
hey, buddy, why don't
yeah.
hold on, reel this back in here." I'm gonna be honest with you. I know that they're just trying to help, but I can't stand fuckers like that.
70% of the people I golf with, or even in a tournament, by the time you get man, you can really smash it, but you gotta do this little thing. And while you're playing the game, you're like, and then you change that little thing, and it doesn't work, and it feels uncomfortable because you're not used to it. And then you feel it like you're insulting them if you don't do it, especially if you don't really know the person.
We don't play with. I don't play with guys that try. First of all, I don't golf enough to tweak my swing. Okay, so I don't even want to hear it. The easiest thing you can always do: find a swing that's comfortable for you, and then adjust your stance.
You know what? I'm going to be out there.
That's the easiest advice I could give to somebody who's going to be a casual golfer. Swing the way that's comfortable for you, and then make slight adjustments to your stance and the way you address the ball. Don't try and create. Like when you're starting, you can try and create a swing, but you're going to have a swing that's comfortable for you. Everybody has different range of motion. Everybody has different level of flexibility. Everybody has different hip strength, shoulder strength. Find something that works for you and then tweak small changes to your stance, the way you address the ball, open the face, close the face, front foot, back foot, stuff like that. Way easier to fix in a swing.
Hey, well, I'm gonna be out there looking like Happy fucking Gilmore, but give me a couple weeks of practice, I'll be giving you 350.
Yeah, you try that, Happy Gilmore. And yes, I just got a Bubba Sassoon right before the show. People that have seen my beard, Bubba decided that, hey, it was time for a little trim job.
I think it's the best job
Your
he's
beard's
ever
getting
done.
a lot of gray there, Lum.
Thank you, Brian, for pointing that out. Yes, he did a little Bubba Sassoon right before the show. We were getting everything ready.
Are you older or younger than me?
I'm younger.
How old are you?
38.
Okay.
And yes, I have a lot of gray, Brian.
Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering.
I mean, I would love to see your little blonde pubic hair come through when you can grow your beard.
I had a nice one kicking on the cruise ship.
Is there pictures?
No, I mean, of my beard, of my face. I didn't have like a beard. I just had facial hair.
Oh, so you just had a little peach fuzz?
Somebody said Red will weigh 350 before he drives 350. That's a fact. First of all, nobody's driving 350 fucking yards.
Jesus
No
Christ.
shit. Well,
The longest I ever hit was 320.
oh, that's pretty good.
I got a hold of one. In with the wind at my back. I mean, it was wind aided. It was probably, realistically, probably 280, 290 would be my limit.
Yeah, I think my farthest one was like 290.
But I can't do it
in a
anymore.
drive
My
contest.
back's getting bad now. I got a bad shoulder, a bad knee.
I'll drive 350 yards to the pizza place on the corner down
That's
there.
about it.
But it's okay, right? You'll get there. If you really do want to play, we could go to the driving range one day.
I'd have to give it one good try, and then I'll make my mind up after.
Brett won't be able to drive it, but he's rode 350 before.
Who the fuck is Brett?
Brett. I said Brett won't be able to drive it,
sounded like you said
but he's
Brett.
rode a girl who's 350 before.
You ever had a bitch who's 350 ride you, brother?
Yeah, Brian broke his hip.
Oh, man.
But we'll get into sports. Our golf time is just, it would be fun. I would like to actually go golfing with Brian because, I mean, I know I suck. The only reason I'd be scared is just he would literally clown me the whole time.
I wouldn't clown you. I'm not good enough to clown you.
But when you, I think, after I think about 3 White Claws for you, and then you realize, well, I'm way better than Lummy. So then by hole 10, you're like, Lummy, you suck.
On a golf course,
you,
I like to start the round with a shot of tequila.
Oh.
That is equal to a half hour on the range for me. That just loosens me up.
Shot of tequila.
Shot of tequila,
What?
then follow it up if it's an early morning round with a Bloody Mary,
What?
and then go to some sort of beer or seltzer-based drink after that.
What?
There you go.
Yep, what's your drinking regimen at the course, Lummy?
Kind of depends on what the rest of the day will look like. But if I'm at, like Sebring, some of the guys, they will bring like a fireball shot or something.
Yeah, how can you not
You go with old guys?
Well, like on the Sebring, remember I was saying like,
Yeah, I know, but are you going with 50-year-olds? Because that's all that's drinking Fireball anymore.
What the fuck are you talking about? I drink Fireball. That's usually my go-to.
See, and Red's
Well,
into
he's
the
a
cool club
ginger.
now.
He's
Yeah.
a ginger,
That's
so
true. I mean,
he
they just
has
switch
to.
it
That
up.
warm cinnamon. It's in my DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe switch it up. And then, obviously, keeping dehydrated, little vodka Gatorade.
Yep. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
And
Get
then
some get some electrolytes in there.
Red would probably have the biggest bowl possible if
Yeah,
he
you
was
just
golfing.
smoke a bowl.
Yeah, I'll just bring my little pack of smokes.
So,
I don't know. I get tore up.
what? Oh, what, you mean
Yeah, I'll
drinking
go out
wise?
there- yeah, I'll go out there and drink.
It might actually make your golf game better.
There's a line. There's a line.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is once you cross it,
And I'm
there's
sure
no
it's
going
yeah,
back.
yeah. It's very blurry because once you get there, it's too far gone.
But there's been a lot of things since Brian's been gone. I mean, I don't remember the last time Brian was on, but
Probably because you were drunk.
yeah, sure. I kind of wanted to ask, and I was talking to Red about this earlier. I wanted to see what your take, because I mean, we broke the news story.
Yeah,
Baker
it was-
Mayfield
it was-
coming to Tampa.
It was live right here on the sports show. We
Wow.
got to break that free agency
I got it
news.
on the cruise ship from this sports show.
Red, what was the line that Ashley said?
Let's get baked.
Let's
Tampa
get
Bay.
baked. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we were putting that out there. We have shirts already made.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Lummy Sports Show
Registered
logo on it.
trademark. So
Yeah.
every time you type that out, you got to put the little circle R at the end.
Yeah,
of it.
we took a picture that day of the guys on the show, so you might be missing. That was our, what it. So, but
we've
what's your-
been shopping it out to a lot of the other
yeah.
agencies and networks and stuff like that.
Don't worry, we put your Grim or whatever that guy's name is picture on there. Brian from Philly, $10 super chat. But what's your feeling on Baker Mayfield coming to Tampa? I mean, look, my feeling
I don't
is
like it.
it's the greatest sign ever, Brian.
It's a
Greatest sign
It's
ever.
a good contract for from the Bucs' perspective in terms of the cost. But the problem I have with it is, you know what you're getting with Baker Mayfield. Like, the jury's not still out on him. It's not like, well, let's see him in a different system. We did that, right? It's not, let's give him a chance with a new offensive coordinator. He's done that 4 times, I think, in his career. What have we seen from Baker Mayfield that makes you go, yeah, he can be that guy? He can be the guy. I mean, is it his 2.8% career interception percentage? I mean, is it his? I mean, it's not like he goes out there and lights it up. I just, and I know I've been the biggest Minshew mark in the world, okay, and I get that, but why not go with him And because you still aren't completely certain of what Minshew's capable of.
Now,
you don't know his ceiling.
True, but let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask Rhett what his feel. I kind of know what his feeling is, so it's good. Baker Mayfield has a little bigger name. I mean, listen, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was the #1 rated customer service in all football this year.
Oh yeah, great! I saw
which
that.
is complete bullshit. But
you know who really won them that award? The guys that don't get talked about enough is those ticket reps.
Yeah,
man.
the ticket rep. Yeah, he was best customer service ever. Give him two claps here. Is he doesn't? Gardner Minshew doesn't have a name like Baker Mayfield. It's not a sexy sign. Listen, Brian. I'm honestly
Baker Mayfield. Not real quick. Not one person in Tampa Bay went and bought season tickets for the Bucs because the Bucs signed Baker Mayfield. Not one. You could ask every human being in Tampa Bay that bought season tickets to the Bucs. Was it because of Baker Mayfield? Was that the deciding factor?
Well,
you
Brian,
won't find one person,
Brian, because you won't find one person that has bought season tickets since the end of the season. They
but
just
the point
renewed or
being
canceled. I know.
The
I
point
understand.
being is when you're talking about sexy name, what the fuck does it matter if it doesn't sell tickets?
Yeah, I know, but this is the thing. They're thinking now by individual tickets because the common person hears Baker. Oh, I know Baker Mayfield. Oh, like the common person hears Baker Mayfield and he knows he has a name. He was the #1 pick. He was on Allstate commercials every fucking hour. It seemed like Gardner Minshew. People are like, who? What? I don't know who that is. But Baker Mayfield, at least you know
here's
kind of
the
who
difference.
It is.
Here's the difference because I think you could draw people the same way. You could market Minshew Mania in Tampa Bay the same way, and not only that, people are just going to come out to Baker's first few games to watch him fail. That's it. With Minshew, they would come out intrigued by the possibility.
Well,
and no, I'm serious. Like,
listen. My true feelings came out last week on the sports show. I'm 100% behind you, Brian. I'm baby facing it because I'm praying to God one day that we could land Baker Mayfield on here. So I've been saying that it's the greatest sign the Bucs have ever done, and I'm super happy about Let's Get Baked. But to be honest, Brian, Rhett is actually I know he was a Gardner Minshew fan too, but Rhett, you have a different take on Baker, right?
I mean, I'm not gonna come in here and say that let's jump on the Baker train. It would give me better hope for a guy like Kyle Trask to beat someone like Baker Mayfield in that quarterback competition. Like I know everyone assumes Baker's going to start, and listen, if he gets a start, then that means Trask is an ass bucket, and we've seen enough. But like if Trask wins this job, it'll pique my interest because say what you will about Baker, I know 2020 he had a pretty good year. I think it was 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Browns went to the playoffs that year. It was consistent.
Browns had a hell of a good defense.
Yeah.
Hell of a good defense.
But he had
season.
consistency around him. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Freddie Kitchens was still their head coach.
I believe he was then. Yes,
he was their head coach in 2019. They went to the playoffs.
So wait, you're going to go with the one good season that he had and not the 4 turds that he laid?
No, I'm not.
I trust the 4 turds over the one good season. Okay, and he did. He laid 4 stinky fucking turds in his other 4 years.
All right. Well, when he probably should have been playing in the 2021 season, and then last year when he was tossed the fuck around like some topless maid.
Brad, hold on. You said he should have been playing in 2021.
Said he should not have been playing.
Oh, because of his arm.
Yeah,
the whole year.
Pretty much, like 3/4 of the year, he had a fucking torn shoulder, and it just got worse because he was getting his ass kicked. How many times did he get sacked that year? 43 fucking times. The most times in his career.
Well, you have 40.
Come on, dude. Come on, cut the guy a break. I'm not saying he's going to come in here and light it up.
Sacks are on QBs too, by the way. Sacks are on QBs as well.
I would like to say that there is enough of a blueprint there where if Dave Canales can fucking resurrect Geno Smith, maybe he can do some good with Baker Mayfield. But that's if he wins the job.
Now, what is your excuse on his 2022 season? Because I'm looking at that.
He said he got passed around
like a topless maid.
He was in 2 teams, and he fucking sucked.
Oh, he sucked in Carolina, but you can't tell me it was a great situation he was walking into with Matt Rule already halfway out the fucking door.
Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, but you got
Robbie Anderson.
You have Christian
Robbie
McCaffrey.
Anderson was a fucking joke.
You have Christian McCaffrey. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey. The way Carolina used him and ran him into the ground, he was not effective at all.
But you're saying that you're saying that DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson were substantially worse than the receivers he had in Cleveland, and adding in the fact that he had Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I'm just saying it's not like he went into, the village of the damned in Carolina.
Or the Texans. Yeah,
right.
He didn't show up at the Texans. What would they have? One wide receiver. What's his name? Brandon Cook?
Oh, he's gone. He's in. Brandon Cooks just got traded.
But I'm saying if
he
he was there last year. Listen, I'm hoping Baker does it great, but I'm not confident. You know, like Brian, who would you rather have? Baker Mayfield. Actually, good in Rhett too. Sorry, Rhett. Baker Mayfield, Blaine Gabbert.
Oh no,
or Kyle Trask.
I mean, I'm out of those three. I'm taking Baker, but that's a false pick because there were so many other routes that the Bucs could have taken.
Okay, so what's your love, Rhett, with Kyle Trask?
I don't know if it's a love for
but
Kyle
why?
Trask.
Because it seems like you want him to play.
I just want to see him play with some fucking starters. That's it. Like, we didn't learn anything at all in that Atlanta game last year because it was a preseason game in the third quarter. Like, the Bucs never gave Kyle Trask a fair shot to win that job, and the Atlanta game told me that. Because why the fuck do you put Blaine Gabbert in the game? What did you need to see from Blaine Gabbert if you knew Trask was going to be in the game? Just fucking put him in the game. They were in a situation to where Trask could have managed it and potentially kept them competitive till the end.
I'll tell you
why. They put Gabbert in. They always had Gabbert penciled in as a QB2 while Tom Brady was here.
Yeah, that's why. But that's a Brady decision. That's a Brady decision.
Yeah, fucking who cares?
He wants an established vet. He doesn't want some kid next to him the whole time. He wants somebody who's not going to bother him.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying, but you can agree to my point that he was never given a legitimate chance to win that QB2 job. There was never any way in hell, unless he was beyond fucking perfect in the preseason and training camp, he was not going to be QB2 with Tom Brady here. He just wasn't. And I think this is the most legitimate shot he's had at any job in the NFL.
I don't mind him getting a shot this year. I don't think he's going to win it, but I don't mind him getting a shot.
I don't think he will either. But if he does, like I said, it would pique my interest because we do know what we have with Baker, and there's a lot of people who have a lot more positive things to say about the guy than I do.
Well, listen, I'm going to say this, and we'll go to 813, but at least Baker has a chance with these wide receivers.
Mike Evans getting old. What do you think?
Oh, 813. Don't be smirched. Don't be smirched, Mike Evans. I just got an autographed picture of him. Okay.
Ooh.
We got to make sure we sell that thing.
Well, your mic was still on when you said that, by the way.
Oh, 813.
What's up, guys? White Ice Tea.
What's up, White Ice Tea?
How are you guys doing today?
Super.
Very well, sir. How are you?
Fantastic. Can we get some love for my boy Cam Newton, who's trying to come back to the NFL?
No, we can't. Fuck Cam Newton.
That is the most.
Sucks.
That is the most.
Sucks.
Yeah, that's the most.
Did you watch the footage from his pro day?
He has no pads on and
he's
no rushing.
Dude, he's ruining these guys' draft stock by overthrowing every goddamn pass in the building. He is over the hill.
Hold on.
He's washed.
He's former MVP.
Okay, great.
He's fucking trash.
33 years old.
Okay, let's put Dan Marino out there. I'm sure he's still slinging the football too.
I mean, 33 and 66 is a whole different thing, bro.
What about Dan Marino has a better arm?
I got some questions for my boy Babyface, and it has to do with some law stuff as far as Lamar Odom having somebody represent him who the NFL doesn't acknowledge as an agent. Is that going to be
Lamar Odom?
I mean, not Lamar Odom.
Lamar Jackson? I was like, what? I was
lost
literally
too.
Googling Lamar Odom to see what the hell he's in the news for.
He's taking herbal Viagra
How
at the
fucking
Bunny
high
Ranch.
are you, dude, Lamar Odom?
At the Bunny Ranch.
I'm as high as Lamar Odom.
Yeah, the herbal.
Anyway, is that going to be a problem? Are NFL teams going to listen to his representation?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tough position for NFL teams right now, and the Ravens put him in this position, is that a team is going to have to make an offer that is good enough to get Lamar's attention, and then also good enough that, but not too good, right? Because you don't want to overpay because you're going to lose 2 first rounds if you get it. It's a tough. I don't know that anybody's going to offer him the money. Indianapolis might be, and possibly Houston, one of the last 2 options on the table for this. But I don't know where the Lamar Jackson thing saga ends up or shakes out. But maybe if the Jets can't get Aaron Rodgers for whatever reason, it's still possible.
The Jets will get Cam Newton.
Listen, delete Cam Newton. You're sounding like when Tim Tebow was trying out.
If you say that name one more time, we have to hang up because because we
You're
can't.
waiting for me to say it, ain't you?
It's a sports show, it's not a retirement home.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's just overthrowing. He's overthrowing his receivers to show his true arm strength. So he's being selfish with the college kids that he's supposedly helping out.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And the only reason I bring up Lamar Jackson's representation is because, obviously these people aren't agents. But in the world that we live in today, if little Wilbur wants to identify as a girl one day, I feel like Lamar's homeboy can identify as an agent. What's the problem?
Well, I think you have to be registered with the NFL, and there's rules.
Yeah, there's different rules, like that. But
there's rules.
Yeah,
there's rules. That's why it's not. It's
thank
not that
you,
easy.
White Iced Tea. We appreciate your call as always. Thank you.
Bye.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, where do you guys think he's going? I mean, obviously he's kind of just sitting out there, hanging out there, and I mean, I know little purple jersey would love to suck his wiener, but and have him back for the Ravens probably.
No, I don't like him anymore, guys. He's whatever
selfish.
happens.
I really
we've got great running backs and receivers, so I'm not worried about anything. Just wait until you see our running backs.
I think I've had some time to think about it, and the way that he acted during the playoffs and not traveling with the team, that just doesn't sit right with me. Joe Flacco would never have done anything.
Oh,
like
of
that.
course not. But I mean, or Vinny Testaverde? But where do you guys see him
Trent
going?
Dilfer.
Oh,
all the Falcon legends. I mean Raven legends.
Ravens, yeah. Where do you see him going? And Buck legends too.
It's a tough one. I think that if he has if he gets a real trade offer from interest from Houston or Indianapolis or maybe Atlanta or the Jets potentially if that falls through, and they go to the Ravens and say, look. And Lamar says, look, I want to be there. I'm going to hold out. I'm not playing on the franchise tag. I'm going to sit out a year if you don't trade me. That could swing things for me. I don't know that a team is going to give him $200 million guaranteed and give up 2 first-round picks.
Well, you know what? And chat makes a good point because I did see a report, and I think this team would actually give a guarantee because they gave a guarantee to their current quarterback of Kirk Cousins, but they're saying that what about Lamar in Minnesota?
And maybe that's Minnesota's made a lot of moves to free up salary, so maybe that's possible.
Because Kirk Cousins was given a ton of guaranteed money, was he not?
Yeah, too much.
Exactly. So
maybe you trade Cousins as a part of that deal to
Ravens,
Baltimore.
Right? Yeah.
I mean that's
what it would have to be.
That would be an interesting wrinkle and possibility. I mean that's if I'm the Ravens, I'm doing that all day because it's very clear Lamar Jackson doesn't want to play in Baltimore
and Kirk
anymore.
Cousins is not a bad. Well, he needs wide receivers, but he is not a bad quarterback.
Yeah, but look at all the receivers that the Ravens have.
All right.
Can you name one?
No. Mark Andrews.
Duvernay, right? They have the Duvernay kid.
Yeah, Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
Tight end.
Yeah, well, he's their best receiver.
Exactly.
So.
925.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, never mind. Minnesota has no cap space.
No, they're clearing up to get cap space.
This is California.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, I'm in love with you, Lummy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. It's sort of a gay thing, but only marginal.
What's your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about Lummy?
His belly. Oh my gosh, it's so attractive. It's like the way it elongates out is just.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And 925. Yep, that's California.
Yeah.
Is that it?
By the way, I love you too, Brian, but it's not much Lummy, but
I don't blame you. There's a lot more of him to love.
He likes a grizzled man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you're a great addition. I wish they give you more airtime. You rock.
Thanks, dude.
Red is like I would describe him as sweet potatoes.
Just happy to be here.
He's good to have as a side dish.
Yeah, I'm good
occasionally.
Good in moderation.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to just eat sweet potatoes though. You can't live off of them.
No, he's that good. I think he's got potential.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yes. I feel that, man.
That's a shoot.
Right, well, I love you guys. You have a good rest of your day.
You
All right,
too.
take care. That was the weirdest call we've ever had to the show.
What are you talking about? I love that guy.
My belly just hangs over.
I love the way it protrudes.
So, because the article, the Vikings Wire says that the Vikings are clearing up cap space for Lamar Jackson with a question mark.
Well,
so.
the only way to do it is to rework Cousins' deal and then trade him because he has got a $48.75 million dead cap number.
Oof.
So they would have to rework. It would have to be a sign and trade type deal for Cousins, and then whatever trade they're going to do for Lamar. I mean, if you're Minnesota, you kind of have to, right? Your window is now. You have one of the two best receivers in the league on your roster. You have a running back who's still good. You have now you have Hawkinson at tight end, which was a great pickup for them. I don't know how you don't try and make a move. You've got Green Bay, who's finally down and out. Regardless of whether Rodgers comes back, Minnesota's better than them.
Yes. The Bears are making moves.
The Bears,
we're
gonna
have
pump
to
the brakes there, buddy.
We're
The
gonna have to
Bears
see
are
how that
making moves.
We're gonna have to see how that ultimately plays out.
Listen, they're gonna
bear it up.
made out like bandits.
They're gonna bear it up.
They'll bear it up, but it's bear down for a reason. It's not bear up.
So do you think that's because they're sold on Fields?
Bear down.
I think. Why? First of all, I'm making that trade even if I want the quarterback. If you give me what Carolina just gave to Chicago, I don't care if I think my franchise quarterback's there. I'm taking that because I can get that Carolina pick is going to be very good next year. Like the first round they get next year is going to be a very good pick. It's going to be a top 5 pick.
Are you serious?
What?
Adam Thielen said he went to the Carolina Panthers because he wanted to play for a contender.
Come on. He wanted to play for a championship contender.
I think Adam Thielen went to the Carolina Panthers because they're the only team that offered him a
Or
contract.
did he have too many concussions? Because, he did come out and he was confident and said, this is a team that's ready to win now.
Also, 32 years old, Adam Thielen. I know, over 30-year-old wide receivers are your favorite.
Fuck. There's none worth having.
And I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the Panthers fans that I have talked to kind of think he's a number 1.
Yeah, please don't call in Panther fans.
Oh, Jesus.
He's not going to be a number 1. If anything, he's going to be a 2-3, maybe a 3.
He's going to barely be a 3.
He's going to be a Julio Jones
in
type
Tampa
of
Bay.
receiver now. Yeah, that's where he is at in his career. And guess what? That's where every 32-year-old receiver is at in their career now. The game has passed that position by because the cornerbacks are too good, too young now. That's the difference in this game. You've got rookies coming out like Sauce Gardner.
Who are just fucking awesome.
They're just fucking amazing. So now where that savvy vet could squeeze out a couple extra years of good play, it's being taken away from them because they can put a rookie corner on them and shut them the fuck down. And the game has changed. So Mike Evans, I'm selling on Mike Evans. He may have a decent year 30 season, but it's about over for him. His days as being a dominant, putting up 1,000 yards every year, getting 20 touchdowns, it's just not going to happen. That ship has hit 10 touchdowns this season. That's not going to happen anymore.
I can't wait for him to have that season and come into our sports show.
I know.
And just
I can't wait for you to get
a ball right on
any
your
guest
face.
on our sports show.
I can't wait till we get to talk to the
first
Tampa Bay
off,
Buccaneers
other
on
than
Radio
Rock
Row
Riley.
next year.
First off, we've had Rock Riley on the show.
I had
okay?
to quickly.
Hey, don't besmirch the great name of Rock Riley.
It's besmirch.
No, on this show, it's besmirch the great name of Rock Riley.
I love Rock Riley.
Well, it seemed like
we had him live at the Combine. It was a great call.
And he had a lot of info. Listen,
that was one. Actually, it's like pretty much last week was the 1-year anniversary of our call with Rock Riley.
Exactly. And you know what? He brought a lot of great information.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, talk about the Dolphins. I mean, look, the Dolphins are going to be good. But listen, that AFC.
Well, are they? The
AFC East is going to be a fucking shit show.
Tua took 2 good concussions last season. I think one more, and his brain's going to be scrambled. He's going to Andrew Luck himself right out of the league.
Oh, really?
I mean,
so?
One more hit to the head.
Well, we all do know that he has probably one of the best arms in the NFL.
I don't know if you saw, but he was working with it was like an Olympic tumbling coach on how to fall and Protect your head.
Yes, that will help when Myles Garrett comes around the corner.
He has had a full off-season program of learning how to protect your head.
So what's he going to do when Myles Garrett comes out with his 4.4 speed and just
protect your neck.
Drop the ball and put your hands over your head? Is that what he's going to do? How do you fall right when you get blindsided?
I don't know, buddy. I'm not an Olympic tumbling specialist.
I have a real question for you. How the fuck did the Bucs not cut Ryan Suckup?
Why would they?
I'm surprised they haven't yet because he's getting paid a lot of money.
They could save $3.75 million against the cap and bring in a guy can't make a 55-yarder.
And that's unfortunate because obviously I like Ryan Suckup. He's the most consistent kicker we have had in fucking years. But since he has gotten here, we knew distance wasn't a thing. And that was not a concern for the Bucs in 2020, 2021, when your offense was a sure fucking thing, right? Like, you didn't care.
It's not going to be a problem. Well, it's not going to be a problem this year either.
What?
It's not because
they're not going to ever be in field goal.
We're never going to fucking be in field goal.
Brian.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right.
Brian picked that one up.
I thought you were going the opposite direction.
No, we're never going to pass a 50. It's reminding me of like 2002, or not 2002. Let's say 98 when we couldn't even get past a 50 with Tony Dungy's offense.
You know, I will say it does suck the Bucs aren't going to be projected to win 12, 13 games this year, but it is cool how we are watching them in real time start to bank on younger talent. Even the free agents they're bringing in, like Chase Edmonds is 26, 27 years old. You know what I mean? He's younger. They just signed Greg Gaines. That's 26 years old.
That's not young for a running back.
Yeah, and talk about...
I mean, that's just not anymore.
Okay.
I mean...
they brought in Greg Gaines, who's 26 years old. That's a guy who can be interior defensive lineman for the next couple of years. Before, when they were looking at interior defensive linemen, you brought in a fucking dinosaur like Ndamukong Suh, Steve McClendon, Akeem Hicks. They're obviously getting away from that.
Played at a very high fucking level for
sure
us.
Did.
He did. And not a lot of 32, 33-year-old guys are doing that. And the Bucs took a chance because as soon as they signed him, everyone's like, oh, you got rid of Gerald McCoy for over-the-hill ass Ndamukong Suh? And obviously that didn't age very well, but not every 30.
Aged well, though.
And Sue played pretty well for the Eagles. I mean, talk about someone that's not aging well that I'm sick and tired of hearing people say that we should pick him up is Ezekiel Elliott.
Fuck that.
God, washed up.
Washed up. I mean, the Cowboys just signed Ronald Jones as the backup.
The Bucs just got rid of Leonard Fournette.
But I've seen people.
Why would they
bring
in a busted up Ezekiel Elliott?
Zeke. Bring in Zeke. I mean,
not at all. That's the last thing the Bucs.
The only move they really can make is get rid of Ryan Suckup to free up some salary. I mean, at this point, that's the last move. There's no other contract that they have that they would entertain cutting the player and gaining that value back. There's no other value on their entire roster. There's no other move to be made, other than reworking and restructuring somebody's deal. But I think they've pretty much done that with everybody that they want to keep at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, maybe they're waiting. They can still cut him and not. What's his dead cap? Ryan Suckup?
It's only $750,000.
Yeah, maybe they're just waiting to see what they could draft.
You got that Jorge Borregales guy, whatever his name is, that you kept on the practice squad. You had him. I thought
in the XFL.
So wherever he is, I'm sure you can get him.
Oh, I'm sure they can sign him from the XFL. That league's doing amazing.
Hopefully.
But it looks like
maybe
the Cowboys,
that's what they're waiting for.
The Cowboys, so they also re-signed Cooper Rush and Dante Fowler Jr. I haven't heard that name in a while.
The Cowboys are so fucking irrelevant.
First round pick from, I think he went to the Jaguars out of Florida, 28 years old. You guys remember Dante Fowler?
Yeah, he kind of has sucked. I mean, haven't heard his name in a very long time since he left Atlanta because he just hasn't been that guy. Like once Atlanta moved on, he was even a little past that point. I don't know, man.
Do you think the Bucs are going to bring in a third quarterback?
They're going to draft. They're probably going to
draft somebody. You think?
And like if they do, it'll be like 6th, 7th round.
I think they're going to re-sign Blaine Gabbert.
No, there's word of Blaine maybe going to the AFC.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian from Philly.
Being a backup for one of the teams in there.
$1 super chat. Thank you, Brian from Philly.
That's the biggest shock is somebody as talented as Blaine Gabbert is still available on the market.
Yeah, no kidding. You would have thought.
Well,
I mean he's just so good.
You still got Lamar out there, too.
He was the 3-year backup to the greatest football player to ever play the game.
Colin Kaepernick?
Did he back him up, too?
I think he did,
I think he did at one point.
There you go.
Yes.
First of all,
Ryan Tannehill.
I would entertain Colin Kaepernick to bring him
okay.
in
All right,
to this
Ryan.
fucking mess.
That's
I mean,
enough
Wrong
of
mic.
that. That's enough of that.
Enough of that.
you want to sell some season tickets? You want to sell some individual game tickets?
or do you want people? Do you not showing up to the games?
I think
Oh,
just as many would come out to see it as would more. In fact, would come out to see it. You want some attention? You want to get some life into this 2023 football year for the Bucks?
$2 super chat from Brian from Philly.
Kaepernick it up.
He says college hoops. Yes, we will get to the college hoops right now, just for you, Brian from Philly, with your.
All right, well, I'll see y'all
$2
next
super chat.
week. It's been fun.
We're going back to football after this. Brian, have you watched any of the NCAA?
So first of all, it's the greatest sporting event in the world.
100%.
Nothing
Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
better. I think what we're seeing is
I love a 20-point first half, I got to tell you.
the incredible parody.
Did you watch women's college basketball? Because that is the most atrocious thing I've ever watched in my entire life. The only reason I turned it on is because my buddy's like, "Oh, USS playing South Carolina, #1 team." I go, "Let's see what."
They held their own for the first half.
Hey, Brian, did you watch that game?
Yeah.
Oh, how many? By the way, South Carolina sucks. They are horrible. That big girl they have cannot. She was missing literally underneath shots. I want my 10 minutes back that I wasted watching that stupid game. Literally was the worst game ever. They dribble down, go for a layup, and miss it. And then the girl, she was like 7'5", would get it. $10, Brian from Philly, thank you. And do a layup and miss it. Horrible. I don't even want to talk about women's college basketball. I know you know all about it. Let's go back to the NCAA. Anybody, don't watch college basketball women's.
What's amazing in what we're seeing in the men's sport is just how much parity there is now. The transfer portal has just revolutionized this game. It's made it so you've got, I think in any season now, you're going to have 20 teams that can win the national championship.
Now, Brian, on that, do you think, and I've always said it too, especially when Kentucky was like, having a lot of one-and-done guys, and they were landing all those big guys, and then they leave after 1 year, and their team was never like a team. And that's when, the Wichita States and the Gonzagas and all those guys at, 3-4 years. Don't you see that's kind of still happening now? Like the big guys are, transferring around.
Well, no, but here's the difference, though.
Princeton's all 4 years are there.
You get the one-and-done guys, but you're able to bring in these fifth-year seniors to kind of have some maturity and some experience on squads that otherwise would be wholly inexperienced. And so I think it's great for the game. I mean, yes, we didn't have like a record number of upsets this year, but you've had upsets, and you've got, you look at a team like UConn, they absolutely can win it all as a 4 seed. 100%.
I picked Duke.
No doubt about it. And that wasn't a bad pick either. They just shit the bed against Tennessee, but that's not a bad pick at all. You look at a team like Houston, a team like even Miami getting hot. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I still think Houston's probably going to make it to the national title game. If Sasser's healthy, they'll get there. They were good enough last year to have won it all, and they're definitely good enough this year. But we'll see.
It's an exciting team to watch is Florida Atlantic.
Yeah, they're fun. Dusty May's got, they beat Memphis by a point and Fairleigh Dickinson by 10, but by 8, but they got Tennessee coming up. I think the run ends there. They just haven't played enough quality competition throughout the season to be taken seriously.
So do you see Princeton beating Creighton?
I see Princeton could beat Creighton. I don't know that they will, but they could. Creighton's not a terrible team. The Big East was really good, as evidenced by 3 teams in the Sweet 16? Yeah. So, is it in the realm of possibility? Yes, but Princeton most likely loses that game by 7 to 9 points, in that 8-point range.
I thought it was kind of crazy. The team that played against, what was it? What was the one that beat the 16 team?
Fairleigh Dickinson.
You heard how they got in, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because the team that won their conference tournament was ineligible to play.
Correct.
Was it Incarnate Word or some crazy school like that?
Yeah.
Moved up from Division II. So, yeah, they lost their conference championship. And so they were like they're really like the 200th best team in the country.
Exactly. And they still went out there and beat.
Well, Purdue, you have to start looking. So there's certain programs, right? Missouri historically has been one, although, again, this year.
Oh, it was Merrimack, by the way, I think.
Purdue, Virginia, you've got these teams that year in and year out shit the bed because of the style of basketball that they play. And they're very susceptible to, if they don't score at least 60 points, they play that low grinding. That's the only thing that scares me about Houston is they're not a super offensive team. And they win with defense. And that's, that can fail you if a team gets hot from three. That's the fear. But you see these same teams every year, the Purdue's, the Virginias, the Missouris, just shitting the bed.
Yes.
And it's always the usual suspects dropping these, losing as the higher seed. Again, Virginia this year, Purdue again, Missouri again. It's crazy. It used to be Kansas State a lot.
But they've kind of they're playing Michigan State. I mean, look at Michigan State. Tom Izzo still fighting the fight.
Yeah, not good enough to win it all. But
no, but I mean, at least look. 7 seed coming in. I mean, they're still, still playing at least for it. But I mean, they could upset Kansas State.
Yeah, no, they're lucky. Shaka Smart is not a very good March Madness coach. He's another one that you look at him, and I think he's 1-7 all time or something like that in winning games or something. I think he has 1 win all time in the tournament.
But don't worry, Brian and Rhett, because we have an amazing coach that just signed with USF.
Yeah? Basketball,
men's. Are you guys excited about him?
They didn't get Mike Bray, so who is it?
Oh, well, it looks like we're still without a coach.
Yeah, they announced today that he's going to probably go into broadcasting.
Oh, nice. His Wikipedia changed last night and said he was the head coach.
It actually changed yesterday during the day, but,
okay.
But it should be back to now he's not. Yeah, he's looking to get a. I don't think so. What I think happened is
it's weird. He
interviewed for the job, and when he saw, it's been 20-some years since he had to build a program. Once you build a program, it kind of runs itself. You got to do maintenance to it. You got to do the right things, but your systems are in place. Everything's in place. You've got your relationships with your donors. You've got. To take a job like USF, where somebody's going to have to come in and really do a lot of work, a guy like Mike Bray, who's on his way out of coaching, looking for his last gig,
doesn't want to do it,
and I think that's
not
what
for that pay.
That's what. Well, even if USF could pay him competitively, because college basketball coach pay is not like college football coach pay.
Oh yeah, not at all.
So it's not even that USF couldn't pay him what he's looking for, because he wants to be in a warmer weather, closer to his daughter. He wanted to be here, but I think that the right decision was, if he's not going to make the effort, if he's going to Skippy Holtz it here at USF, we don't need that.
Well, I kind of was going back and forth with these a couple different guys on Twitter about it, because they're like, well, you should go after the FAU coach. I go, listen, we're not a destination. We're not a step up from FAU anymore. We're not in 2000.
Fact, FAU's our conference mate next year.
I know, but that's what they're like. Oh yeah, we got better facilities, and I'm like, no, you guys. This is not 2007, 2009, 2012 USF. We are a joke now. We are getting passed by, and they probably wouldn't pay. We are a spot after a bigger school fires their coach, and then they come here to resurrect their career. And these guys still think that, we're this big time school, and it's honestly, we don't hold on to the coaches that actually do want to be here. I actually saw improvement on USF's team this year with Brian Gregory.
Yeah,
I thought they were on the up, but once again, USF did the same thing. And you know what? I took a book out of your thing, Brian. During the COVID years, you can't really count those,
right?
Because it was difficult for the recruiting process. So you scrap that, and you gave Brian Gregory 4 years. And if you look at his wins and loss, he improved almost every year besides his first year when he got here.
Well, what really screwed him, Lummy, and what doomed him was the preseason injury following the CBI tournament win year, where they had gone something like 21 and 12 or whatever, 21 and 13. And won the college basketball invitational. It was his second year, I think, or maybe his third year.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know. He
was here for 6. So,
well, I took off too. Yeah.
But
I took off too because of COVID.
Yeah. But the year after that, Alexis Yetna, amazing talent, French player.
Yeah, second year.
Awesome.
Sorry. Yeah, second year. 24 and 14.
He blows out his knee right before the season starts. So you lose your best player, your best post player, and you have nothing to replace him with. And they struggled that year. And then Yetna comes back, and he's not the same Yetna. So you lost 2 years with him.
Then COVID.
Well, that too. I mean, but not even getting into that. But because you couldn't give up on Yetna, you got to let him rehab and try to come back. And then he just ultimately, I think he transferred out to St. John's and blew out his knee again. So his career's done. That was the moment that Brian Gregory was really destroyed. His opportunity here at USF was destroyed because they had no chance to compete without Alexis Yetna. And then you've got to hold on and hope that he comes back in the same form that he was in prior to that injury. I mean, you can't cut college kids when they get hurt. So that was unfortunate. Then COVID happened. Unfortunate. Last year was not really inexcusable. I have no excuse for last season. It was pretty fucking awful.
They looked bad. I went to some games last year.
The problem I have, Lummy, is that they went out at the end and lost the last 2 games the way they did. I am fine. I was fine with keeping Gregory if that decision was made, but I was also fine with moving on from him because his track record, other than 1 or 2 good seasons at Dayton, is not that of a winning coach. He is not the best X's and O's guy. He's a good, solid, he'll get you to the middle of the pack in your conference type of coach, but he's not going to go out there and win you championships.
I know, but right now, Brian, that's what we are. That's
what you are if that's what you choose to accept.
No, but I'm saying you have to, if we're middle of the pack, right? We're middle of the pack.
Get Chris Kapko.
But that's what I'm saying. We're middle of the pack. And let's say Brian Gregory takes us to the middle of the pack, and we're right there. Like we were 14 and 18 last year, right? You saw potential out of a lot of guys that are coming back, and you're right there, right? And now you're just going to go fire him. And now, but you didn't get that next year that Brian Gregory maybe went, 18 and 14. You know what I mean? And he made that kind of little jump, and he got a little bit better recruit coming in. And you go, Brian Gregory is going to keep us right around here. Now we move on because they did the same thing to Stan Heath. Stan Heath, after that one where they went to the Sweet 16?
Yeah.
And then
no, they went to the round of 32. They won 2 games, but they were in the first 4.
Okay. So, but then what's his name?
When they lost on a last second, they had a last second Ohio Bobcats. I remember the game very well.
Yeah,
obviously.
Right they went to the round of 32. You're correct. But then I remember that one, the guard left. He got drafted by the Wizards.
Yeah.
And then the following year, I think they had
Dominique Jones.
Yeah, Dominique Jones.
Yeah.
He could have come back. He didn't. Then they went 12 and 19, and they fired him.
Yeah.
So
no, that was a mistake. To me, that was a mistake. I liked Stan Heath, and
I think he was built because that's when everybody transferred then.
Well, he was also the Big East was still the Big East. He was playing against real basketball schools. The problem I have with USF right now is we're losing against schools that just, I guess Houston, Cincy, Memphis, fine.
But doesn't Houston leave? Isn't Houston leaving?
Well, Houston and Cincy are gone.
Yeah,
so now we're left with Memphis, but we're bringing in FIU, UNT. The UTSA. These are teams we should be beating.
That's the whole thing.
But that's where you got to be now. I think USF's move, if you're going to now go with a coach who's going to be bought into the program, you go with Chris Kapko. He's a solid coach, former USF player. He's got experience all over the place. That's where I would turn to.
We used to make fun of Chris Kapko when he played here.
Yeah.
We always said he couldn't dribble the basketball.
No, he wasn't a great player. So
he transferred from Miami, right?
From Florida.
Florida, that's what I meant. Yeah. Florida, yeah. I remember when he came in. That was my first year at USF. I'm like, man, we got a guy from. Oh, that was red. Jesus. I was like, we got a guy from Florida. Oh man, we're gonna be good. And then it would just they would press. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah, no, we've never handled the press well.
And we don't press at all.
And yeah,
with any coach, which I don't understand. But now that Rhett's back, welcome back, Rhett.
Thank you.
You scared the shit out of me.
I figured that I wasn't going to be able to contribute much in the legacy conversation of USF basketball, so it was a good time to go.
Well, you can't contribute in college basketball at all because you clown it.
I know. Why do you clown it, man?
I don't clown it.
Is it like golf?
You absolutely clowned it.
Is what Anna and Blitz do with pickleball?
Because I said I'm not a fan of a 20-point first half.
Okay, name one men's basketball game that had a 20-point first half.
I mean, I was watching Indiana, and the last game that I actually sat down and watched.
Miami?
Indiana?
No, it was the Indiana game before that.
Kent
It was
State?
before the. No. It was the.
Were you watching in 2023?
Yes, it was fucking. It was at Walk-On. It was 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends.
It was
so it would've been
before the
Big
main
Ten
tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the end of the Big Ten tournament.
Oh,
It was like
I
the
mean-
semifinal. They fucking played. God damn it, Penn State. That's who they played.
Hold on, you can't.
Indiana,
you can't
Penn State.
compare the
Indiana, Penn State.
Hold on, you can't
Indiana, Penn
compare.
State.
Okay.
You can't compare the tournament, the NCAA tournament, which
I
is
can't
probably,
compare college basketball to college basketball.
No, but Brian, would you agree with me that it's
I
it's
can't
almost like
compare a championship tournament to the other tournament that they have.
I just,
No.
but hold on, real quick. So I've got that Indiana Penn State game was really fucking good. So what was the problem with it?
I just
77-73 in 40 minutes.
And,
Yeah,
Okay, so
the
add
first
8
half,
more minutes to that, and it's a 95-90 game.
Hold on, the first half was 34-26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the problem?
nothing. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I just don't fucking. I guess I don't like basketball.
Seven,
that
eight,
much.
six.
So you enjoy watching one-on-one isolation NBA bullshit?
No.
Oh.
No, but hold on.
So you just
Wait,
don't like basketball?
hold on.
No, I just don't fucking like basketball.
Red. Listen, I totally understand where you're coming from because basketball, in my opinion, NBA, but NCAA tournament, it's like playoff hockey.
I've heard.
It just
I've
turns
heard.
it up.
I totally get the reputation that it has. It's just personally, it doesn't do much for me.
786.
That's
Please
all.
correct, Red. 786.
Hey, my name is Jerry. I'm in New York.
Oh,
Hey,
hello,
Jerry.
I appreciate you taking my call. I was hoping to talk about the discriminatory practice of roller coasters requiring a certain.
Is that Ben Shapiro?
That's Ben Shapiro.
That was fucking a chat GPT.
That was
Ben
pretty
Shapiro.
good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That was pretty good. I knew it was Ben
ChatGPT.
Shapiro, so I was like, okay, where's this going?
Well, I was just looking at my number. I was like, okay.
That's crazy. They got fucking.
Ben Shapiro.
Well,
I know my voice sounds like I'm short, but I'm actually very tall.
Yes. Ben Shapiro and Brian are about the same
Go
size.
back to
is he
it.
still there? Hold on, listen.
The
Ben, are
only
you still...
underwear I can find that fit me are Spidey Man briefs.
Nice.
This is 100% somebody fucking with us.
Oh, yeah.
Of
It's someone
course.
playing the thing.
yeah.
Crawl up inside you, baby.
So
Those are some good drops, though.
Yeah.
yeah, they cut
You
him
can
down.
no, you can script it for whatever the
Yeah.
fuck you want.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, can you now?
Yeah. Well, you heard Blitz talk about it during the main show today. I know we'll sidebar from sports, but someone ran like a chat GPT program and they wanted it to read a what are they called? The CAPTCHA, where you got to type in whatever the image is to prove you're not a robot. So the AI didn't fucking know how to read it. So you know what the AI took it upon itself to do? To go on Fiverr and pay somebody to read it. And then it fucking lied to the guy that it paid. It said, like, it paid him $5 to read it and transcribe it. And he asked, he's like, are you a chatbot or like, are you a whatever? And it's like, no, I just have really bad eyesight. So the chatbot fucking lied for itself to pretend to be someone to buy what it needed to go in there and prove it wasn't a robot. Like, isn't that fucking insane to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
When Blitz said that on the main show earlier today, I thought about it for like 30 straight minutes. Like, that's wild. And now we got Ben Shapiro calling the sports show.
Oh, way to go. Ben Shapiro, big sports show fan. Thank you, Ben.
I can't wait to get a
Rumble,
Bubba. I can't wait to get a Bubba chat
Bob,
GPT.
that
Oh
some
God,
sucks.
that'd be awesome.
Brad,
We'll be
ginger.
making drops, and he won't even fuck. He'll be like, I don't remember saying that.
Or it would just be Bubba calling in saying how much we suck. Now, talking about Bubba, what's going on with your boy, Brian, Aaron,
Rogers.
Joseph Rogers? If that's his middle name.
Nothing's going on with him.
I mean, is he going?
Who knows?
I mean-
Here's the problem.
Do you blame him or do you blame the Packers?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both because he's been so wishy-washy about his future. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to play. I could retire. I could do this. I could do that. Well, he tanked his trade value. Maybe that's his little parting salvo to the Packers is, okay, fuck you guys. You think Love can do it. I'm going to tank my trade value, and you guys can deal with the one team that I'm interested in playing for, and that's going to make you an offer for me. Because they're really, at this point, they're kind of backed into a corner. But at the same time, they could go into the season with Aaron Rodgers on their roster. They could always trade him during the year. They're salary cap compliant with him right now.
Yeah, but he's like you said, he's hog tying them to be able to go get free agents. But did you listen to the interview that he did with the Pat McAfee?
No, well, it's not just now. Real quick though, it's and no, I did not. But it's not just his contract has to be reworked because he has $100 million dead cap number for the Packers.
Well, yeah, supposedly right now that's what they're
that's a big part of it, but it's not just that. It's the compensation for him because in order to trade Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, the Packers will have to redo his contract. In order to do that, the Jets are going to have to take it on the chin in later years. And so that is what's impacting this because the Jets do not want to give up a first-round draft pick when they're going to have to, when they know that they're going to get maybe one. There's no guarantee that Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays next year for the Jets.
Well, reports are that they have the draft picks already settled. It's not going to be a first. It's not going to be a second. It's going to be maybe a couple compensation picks. But it's all right now held up on the contract, how much the Packers are going to take, how much the Jets are going to take.
Honestly, I feel like if you're the Jets, you just have to, like, they have the leverage in the situation, but you got to be honest with yourself and just fucking take it on the chin for what you have to. Like, you're not going to get a quarterback available who wants to be a Jet like Aaron Rodgers. As much as we clown him on this show, me and Brian kind of hate the guy. Like, he's a talented guy, and I think he could make the Jets.
He's diminishing.
He can make the Jets a better team than they are right now. Just fucking take it. Like, just do it because they haven't won shit. Who's the best franchise quarterback they have had in New York in the last 20 years? Let me.
Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, my only answer is
Pennington.
Mark Sanchez.
A real legacy.
Pennington.
Well,
a
Mark Sanchez is
a real
after.
legacy of greatness up there in New York.
Chad
They really got
Pennington.
to really got to take their time to manage this thing correctly.
Vinny
Give me a
Testaverde.
fucking break.
Pennington had a good run there. You can't discount
Mark
what Chad
Sanchez,
Pennington did in New York.
Mark Sanchez had a couple good years. I mean, they did have a good team around him, but I mean, he did come in and I believe he went to the playoffs.
Ryan
right?
Fitzpatrick was fun there for a little while.
Was he?
Yeah, made the playoffs with the Jets.
Pennington had one good year with them.
He had a good run.
And it wasn't even a great year. He threw 17 touchdowns and 16 picks.
He had a good run, Brian.
Yeah, and then I guess he had one good year with Miami too. He had 2 good years. Pennington is I would put Baker Mayfield in the Chad Pennington mold of a quarterback.
Do you know what? That's giving Baker Mayfield a lot of credit.
No, because they have the blip good season and gives you this false hope, and then you're like, oh no, he is who we thought he was.
Like
Ryan
Fitzpatrick.
So I know we talk about a lot of quarterbacks here, and I wanted to go back to the Bucs quarterback situation really quickly. We got the draft coming up, and the Bucs are sitting there at 19.
Anthony Richardson will be gone.
No, not anyone in particular. I'm just saying if there is a quarterback available at 19. Would you rule out the Bucs taking a guy like that and just having a 3-way competition for this job?
You don't take a number 19 pick quarterback to come in and compete for this job. You would take a 3rd or 4th rounder, maybe, and a project, a guy who has a high, a low floor but a high ceiling
what
type of guy.
What stops you from taking a 19 quarterback?
A waste of a fucking pick.
Yeah,
a waste of a fucking pick.
There's a lot more they could use.
You're not winning the division with the 19th selected quarterback starting for your team. That's the issue. Is you're not going to win. You're not set to win. You need a right tackle.
I was going to say,
so whatever you do, you're taking. I don't care who it fucking is. You're taking a right tackle.
It's Luke Gadicke.
Whoever it is, you're taking a right tackle at number 19. And you're moving on. If not, you take a secondary player because, and that's it.
They're going to draft trenches. I agree they're going to draft trenches, but I think starting week 1, Luke Gadicke is going to be your right tackle for Tampa Bay, and Tristan Wirfs is going to be your left tackle.
And I can see them drafting. I think they should draft a lineman.
If they hit on an offensive line, there's a lot of offensive tackle talent in this draft.
Yeah.
If they hit on it like they did with Wirfs, then they won't move Gadicke, and that rookie will be starting because this is the season to take your lumps. You are going to have so much fucking money and flexibility next year.
If Gadicke is not your right tackle, he's not going to be starting week 1. Because they just signed Aaron Stinney to another 1-year deal. They got Robert Hainsey still on the roster. Nick Leverett was your starting left guard last year after, Gadicke lost the fucking job because he was so bad. I know it's tough. I know he's a rookie. You got to go in there and take your lumps, but the guy is better fit to be a right tackle, and I think the Bucs are in a position where this year, they definitely can kind of say, fuck it, let's try some new stuff. And I think some of that new stuff is going to be, 3 weeks away from OTAs? We're going to see Tristan Wirfs get some reps at left tackle. They're going to
Tristan Wirfs will be their
100%.
starting left tackle this season.
Thank
Mark
God.
it down, take it to the bank. There is no way he is not. No way. That he is there. That's already in the plan. Like they have nobody else. They have nobody else to do that job. Nobody. So he's the only guy on your roster who's
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They still got Josh Wells. I heard that guy was pretty good.
They have nobody else that's even remotely capable of taking that position. It's very clear, unless they draft a rookie that they think is good enough to start at left tackle and leave Wirfs at right. But there's no way. Wirfs is your starting left tackle, and they will draft a right tackle or maybe go with Gedeke. But I think they're going to look towards. Let's build a line now, so when we do find our quarterback next year, whatever that may be, whether it be trading for a vet or drafting a highly rated rookie, let's be ready for that.
I think I can see him. I hope they go in the trenches the first two, but I can also see him maybe. What do you think about a wide receiver, like in third or fourth?
Third and fourth, I wouldn't rule it out at all.
You can do anything in those rounds. You can take a running back. I mean, there's a lot that you can do.
I mean, you took a quarterback in the second round.
I'll tell you what, an interesting move that the Bucs could make if they really wanted to get a little bit crazy is what's his face, that running back,
Bijan. And haven't ruled that out either.
That would be the only skill position that I could possibly see them taking
and
with a first-round pick.
It sets you. I mean, obviously, if he pans out, you don't know that until he goes out there and plays. But it sets you up pretty well at the running back position, considering Rachaad White going into year 2. You get Bijan on a young contract. Chase Edmonds is cheap. He's getting paid the vet minimum this year, which is $1 million. So it's like.
But that's the only way you do that is if you think Gedeke can play right tackle for
exactly.
you. That's
I agree.
Only way you can take
and to be honest with you, I think they are taking a lot of things into account, such as having a more mobile quarterback, whether it is Kyle Trask or Baker Mayfield. I think that's what's going to influence their decision to just say, fuck it, and put Gedeke at right tackle. But he's got more experience from that in college, and I mean, he was a better right tackle than he was a guard, so he was drafted as a right tackle, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully he gets a chance. But I mean, I think right now, what's most important for the Bucs is definitely getting some more youth along that offensive line, because you've got your rotational guys, but you don't know how good they are. They spent the last 7 years building the secondary. When you look at where they are now, they were in a good enough position to let SMB walk. Not that he was a game changer, but Lummy, when is the last time the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had a competent number 1 and number 2 cornerback on the same team?
Last time they played in the Super Bowl, 2004, 3, like after that year, Brian Kelly and Rondé Barber.
Yeah.
Before that, Dante Abrams.
They have built this secondary through the draft. Mike Edwards just got a big-ass contract. He was drafted, I think, 2018. All the way back to 2016, the Bucs have not taken a secondary player in the first round, which is even more impressive. Carlton Davis was a second-round pick. Jamel Dean was a third-round pick. Antoine Winfield Jr. was a third-round pick, second-round pick, something like that. Mike Edwards just took a contract. Sean Murphy-Bunting just took a contract. Jordan Whitehead took a contract last year. Like, those are all guys that the Bucs drafted, and I think they want to maybe get a similar thing going for the offensive line.
But I could also see them, if their guy isn't there on the offensive line, and if Bijan's not available, maybe you do go with a safety or corner to stay young, and you're going to get a damn good one at number 19.
Yeah, you don't know if Keanu Neal or Logan Ryan are coming back right now, and between those guys losing Mike Edwards, they're definitely going to have a hole at safety.
You got the safety from Bama. That's really good. It's the Bucs are in a good position because there are no expectations for this season, right? So they've made it clear they're not in a total rebuild.
His nickname is Smiley Face.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They're not in a total rebuild, but they're also in a position where they don't have any glaring needs on the right. It's not like you're drafting to compete this year.
Yeah.
So you're drafting to be better next year, and they just got to look and see which player fits that recipe. But Bijan Robinson is he's got the pedigree. He's twice the Arizona Football Player of the Year coming out of high school. And he's the number 1 running back in college football coming out of high school. He's taken by Texas. He averages 8.8 yards a touch as a freshman. He gets like 700 and something yards on 80 some touches. Then he comes through in his sophomore year, performs, and then wins the Doak Walker in his senior year. I mean, this is a guy that got better and better and better, and he played in a real football conference. I mean, the Big 12 is no joke.
Yeah.
So I on a team that overall he made a lot better. I never liked taking a running back in the first round.
No.
But this guy looks tempting. I would definitely not take a running back as a lottery pick, but this guy, if he's there at 19, it's hard to say no to him.
And
it's hard to say no to him.
But that's what people said about Zeke.
And Zeke was good for his first 3 years.
I know. I'm just saying.
That's why he got that.
Look, you're only hoping to get 4 or 5 years out of a running back. That's it. They are Glade plugins.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Zeke was high, and he did produce when he was there.
So you bring in Robinson, you let him learn Canales' system, you let him learn how to pick up the blocks on pass protection. You go to whatever you go to this year, 6 and 11, fine. Whatever this team ends up being, it ends up being. And then he's ready for when you do have the flexibility and the money to put together a team next year.
Real quick, I know you got to go at 1.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say about the Pat McAfee, Aaron Rodgers thing was he mentioned probably when they drafted Jordan Love, Rhett, like 4 times, 5 times. Like you can tell he's still bitter about that.
Oh yeah, ever since that. I mean, he admitted that he went and won back-to-back MVP out of spite.
Yeah,
like
he's not going back. So when
he said, had he not won those MVPs, the conversation that he had with Green Bay this year was one that they were going to have 3 years ago. Anyways,
so my question, since you have to go, is when are you going to wash my car?
Oh, I never said I would wash your car.
What?
To pull the audio.
Hold on.
Whoa.
Time out.
Bubba said, what? I knew you would do
Bubba
this.
Said,
Brett, did I not say this?
No, you did. He called it. He's telegraphed this for 2 weeks.
Hold on. Pull the audio. Pull the audio. So I'll see it in 6 months, Lummy. Pull the audio. And if...
That's funny.
Yeah, he's never going to come back
now. I actually said, if it was a clear bet, what I think happened, and this is my recollection, and I will wash your car... Hold on. What I think Bubba just blindly said to you that you would wash my car if Aaron Rodgers stayed with the Packers. I don't think I ever said it was reciprocal.
That truck's never getting cleaned, Lummy.
But
never getting cleaned. I knew this would get lawyered up. Brian would find some...
It's not lawyering it up.
Catch you on a technicality. We knew it.
If I clearly agreed to a reciprocal deal, then I will honor that. I will honor it if there was reciprocity in that deal. What I think happened was Bubba injected himself and said that you would have
injected himself, started making shit up.
Interjected himself. You would have to wash my car if Rodgers stayed with the Packers because you were so confident about him going to the Jets. But if I'm wrong about that, I will honor it. So there you go. I will go pull that audio. Thank you, Brian, for making your appearance for this month. Rhett, thank you so much, obviously. And thank you, everyone, from Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. We are live tomorrow. Rumble.com/The Bubba Army, YouTube.com/The Bubba Army, and Facebook.com/The Bubba Army. 6 a.m. Thank you, everyone. We will see you tomorrow.